Hi everybody, welcome to this edition of Our Town. We have with us today Paul Manganelli. He's somebody that I've known for quite a long time. We're both members of St. Ferdinand Parish. He's also the chairman of the golf committee that runs our parish golf men's tournament. But today we're here to talk with him about the Knights of Columbus food truck nights, and just the Knights of Columbus in general. It's a very important stakeholder in our community. It's one of our service organizations. We have a very faith-based, patriotic community, and the Knights of Columbus is a big part of that. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Tell us about the food truck nights.
Well, last year was a great success. I mean, we were very fortunate to have the city support in it and everything. So much so that we're doing again this year. We have 4 events scheduled. There's already a lot of buzz about them, and this year we're hoping it'll do a lot more good than it did last year, even with our food drives for the team food pantry.
It's amazing. We have so many interesting events. Of course, we have our 2 main festivals, Valley of Flowers and the Fall Festival. Then we have Wednesday night outs with the Old Town Partners. We have the concerts in the park and all kinds of other activities. And now we have the Wednesday night outs, and they have really been, when the weather's been cooperative, we've had really big crowds. About how many people have been coming to these things?
There's been a few thousand coming to our events. I mean, it's, when the weather's good, the weather's perfect. I know our first events last year in April, I know we had over 3,000 people there, and the truck sold out by about 7:30. So they gear up now, and that's not the issue anymore. But
so we have between 15 and 20 trucks, somewhere like that.
That's what we did last year, and over the winter I met with a couple of them. We retooled everything because a couple of the nights we had maybe a couple too many trucks. Yeah. So we're going to have between like 14 to 15 trucks at each event.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then of course you have the even when it does drizzle a little bit, we have a pavilion that holds quite a few people.
We have 2 pavilions. We got the lower one, the big pavilion, where the crowning is for the Queen candidate. The big pavilion holds about 400 or 500 people, and small pavilion, about 80 to 100.
And there's plenty of parking. A lot of the grounds have been surfaced with a sort of a kind of a gravel surface where you're not going to get too muddy. There's a little bit of, it's not as quite a parking lot, but it's still fairly firm in all different kinds of conditions, although it still lets the water permeate through, so MSDs is not that unhappy with it.
No, that's the great thing too. I mean, Valley of Flowers can't park on the grounds because of all the rides and equipment. But here we can welcome everybody onto the grounds, and no need to park in the neighborhoods or anything.
And now the city of Florissant has decided you were gracious enough to allow us to co-sponsor with you for this event, since it was so popular. And the first event you did in 13, I believe.
Yes.
And people assumed that we sponsored it, but we didn't. And then so that we could promote it on our media and so forth, we decided to co-sponsor, because you do give the money back to the community. So why don't we talk about that a little bit? Sure.
Our biggest benefactor from the event is the team food pantry, and we want to, what we do is we donate money from our tips, at the bar, and then we also have a food drive, and that's what we really want to. We've had a couple of carloads full go over. We'd like to have a few truckloads go over to TEAM after our events.
TEAM stands for the Emergency Assistance Ministry, and this is a collaboration of all the different groups, faith-based groups, the Catholics, Protestants in our community. A lot of the different churches participate, all the different denominations, and so it's a very ecumenical movement to feed the hungry in our community. And the need is a lot greater than we'd like to think, but we do have people, because of the economy, because of the loss of jobs, they're really having a hard time making ends meet, so they're relying on TEAM for some of their basic food needs. And I know they appreciate any help they can get. Kind of a natural connection between food truck nights, where all of us that have means, go and sample all these delicious vendors, And then, so we're feeding ourselves, but then we're also feeding the hungry while we're doing that.
Right, right.
Tell everybody what Knights of Columbus stands for, what it is, what the name means, and we have the name. It's the Duchesne Council and so forth. Just give us a little history on that.
Sure, sure. Our council, I've been a member for about 15 years, so I'm not big on or up on most of the history. I know it's founded back. Our council was founded back in, I think, around the 50s, 50s, 60s. The Knights of Columbus as a whole was founded by Father McGivney, and it's just it's a Catholic organization that's a fraternal organization for men, where our central focus is acts of charity, and that's what we perform all the time. We do our meat shoots where.
Just had a meat shoot yesterday.
We just had one yesterday. It was very good. We did about 26 rounds, and the money that we get from the meat shoots, those go to we put together food baskets at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter for needy families. Go through like the St. Vincent de Paul societies and other societies around town that come to us for the food baskets. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas last year, we gave out 176 food baskets.
Wow.
So, and we'll probably do somewhere between 80 and 90 food baskets at Easter, depending on the need.
And you also have some couple barbecues also during the year to raise money. I know you do one that's kind of a police theme, I believe it is.
We last 2 years we've done a barbecue competition. We're not sure if we're going to be able to do it this year. The person that organizes it is doing a lot of traveling, so we're not sure if it'll happen this year. But that's going to be later in the year.
Okay.
If it does happen around Fall Festival weekend.
But the Valley of Flowers activities, Fall Festival, I believe there was a car show, but in Valley of Flowers, of course, we were all familiar with the rides, and it's all family now, which has really turned out great for us. If you're 17 and under, you have to be with somebody that's an adult, and that has really changed the whole feel of the grounds, hasn't it, Paul?
Oh yeah, and it's funny is everybody's wondering, well, what's this going to do to the event? And we had our best event last year. It was the most successful with the family theme. So it was just a great move.
It almost feels like we turned back the clock.
Yeah.
And we got people strolling around with their little, with their toddlers and everybody else, and then you got, groups of 5th and 6th graders running around, but their parents are there, and it's really a lot of fun. The Midway was busier than it's been in a long time. Yeah. The rides were busy. The barbecue was very busy. That's a good thing.
Yes, it was.
'Cause that's a big fundraiser for you guys too.
Yeah. It's the weather helped last year too. Much unlike the year before, but even weekends when we've had weather like this, is night and day, and in the crowds.
Right. But I mean, it goes on and on. There were mouse races a couple weeks ago. They usually hold a poker tournament that I try to make. I came in. I got to the final table one year. And Knights of Columbus is just one of our really strong organizations. Paul, is there anything else that you'd like to mention while we're here?
Well, I guess a couple of things. We have our first event on April 22nd.
Food truck night.
Food truck night on April 22nd.
What night of the week is that?
That is a Wednesday.
Okay.
Then we go Thursday, June 18th.
June 18th, Thursday.
And then we finally get to Fridays in August and October. It'll be August 28th.
August 28th.
And October 9th.
October 9th. That's right before the Fall Festival.
Right. And that was kind of by design. And I think this year will be really neat because the Race to the Shrine 5K is going to be on October 10th.
So it's a whole weekend of activities.
Exactly. That's what we were kind of hoping for when we originally started putting it on that Friday.
Right.
So we'll have the Race to the Shrine on the 10th. It'll make a whole weekend out of the fall festival. So I think it'd be a great addition. And we have our fish fries every Friday here during Lent.
Yeah, we can't forget about the fish fries. I had a fish fry last week with some of Don Costello's soup.
It's clam
chowder. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to make sure we have some for you whenever, if we see you in line.
I never seen anybody cook so much that didn't own a restaurant as Don Costello.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody says he should open a restaurant, but if he opened a restaurant, he wouldn't be able to do all the good things that he does with the Knights.
Right. I think one of these days, Don and Kathy are going to open up a restaurant. I still keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, keep dreaming. No, but you never know. And here's the trucks that we're going to have. Zia's Slice of the Hill, The Meltdown, My Big Fat Greek Truck, Russo's Trucktoria, Shell's Coastal Cuisine, Sarah's Cake Stop, gotta have the cupcakes, Completely Sauced on Wheels, Cha Cha Chow, Steak Louie, Holy Crepe, Two Girls, Four Wheels, Andrew's Bayou Ribs, and then the last one is a new truck that they just started this year. It's called the Southerner. They do Southern barbecue, and I went and visited them when they were doing lunch over in our city, and they actually had shrimp and grits on the truck too. So,
what kind of beverages are you going to have to wash that down with?
Well, the trucks will have their soft drinks. The Knights will have soda as well, and we'll bring in a beer wagon. We'll have beer, wine, possibly margaritas.
Okay.
So it'll be something for everybody. We will have live music by a band called Social Distraction.
In April?
In April.
All right.
And we're trying to get somebody's son to come out in June to play.
Okay.
I've been in touch with your son. So
all right, good.
We're gonna have music at
Bell Groove, I believe it is.
Yeah, we're gonna have music at all 4 events this year, and God willing, in April we'll have the Blues playoff game on as well.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. Well, there's always fun things to do at the Knights of Columbus. In addition to the events that you guys sponsor, you also rent the grounds out to various parish picnics. Do you have parish picnics this year?
Not parish picnics, but we do different things. Like we do the
Hispanic Festival.
Hispanic Festival. There's a picnic for Down syndrome children. Mm-hmm. That's the weekend after Valley of Flowers. Those are the two biggest things. But it's just whatever.
But it is available if someone wants to have like the Conan family that has like 1 million people. If they wanted to have a big family reunion, they could do it. They could rent the.
They can rent the grounds.
And now your members can also have it. It's fairly inexpensive. I know since my son Zach is a member of the council, when he made chief petty officer, we were able to use the pavilion. And it was a great venue for that. So your member, if somebody knows a Knights member, they could usually arrange for some nominal cost to use the pavilion and so forth. I know you guys like to have it used. Right,
exactly. And then over the winter when it gets colder, there's the ability to rent the hall out as well.
Now there's a working relationship between yourselves. There's 2 separate organizations. We have the Friends of Old St. Ferdinand, which is right next door. It's the St. Ferdinand Shrine. They preserved a shrine. That's their main focus. And it just so happens that both organizations are sort of Catholic-based. The shrine is getting increased attention from the Archdiocese for use as for Catholic ceremonies. And then the schoolhouse is used for both faith-based events, but also it's available for rental also. And in the summer we have the Wednesday night out at the Shrine grounds, and then the Knights participate in that.
Yeah.
You guys have some beer and you have some food and stuff for that. That's in like the 4th Wednesday in July, 3rd or 4th Wednesday in July. Last Wednesday in July.
Yeah, last year we had Frozen. That was a big hit.
Yeah, we have a movie night out for the children, and it was a big hit. So we're always using those grounds. There is a good relationship between the Knights and the Shrine. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, there's members of the Knights that are also they also volunteer with the Shrine, and since we kind of basically share a parking lot together, we're always bad weather we'll plow their lot. We'll help them out whenever when we can. But it's basically working together with them throughout the year, and any way that we can help. It is neat going to the Knights meetings, and years ago there wasn't much going on at the Shrine. They'd have their tools.
Yeah. It's changed now.
It is amazing how many times I'll go up there, and there's always something going on at the shrine almost now, it seems like.
The only reason, the reason is because I turned the lights on at night.
Yeah, I think that was my suggestion, though.
That really worked out great. Then we got Amarin to put some lights on the shrine. That's really partly because for security too.
Right.
That's a very important historical asset for the city, and it's a landmark that's irreplaceable. And so to illuminate it at night for security, but also it gives a great ambiance to that.
It's a beautiful shrine. Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about just lastly, we notice every once in a while, and we had our first Corpus Christi in a long time procession, which is a Catholic procession, and that was on the hottest day of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
We had a procession from Sacred Heart Church to St. Ferdinand Shrine, which used to be St. Ferdinand Church. And we had the Knights ceremonial team, I think, was involved in that. And the ceremonial team is for like funerals or like a visit from the Archbishop. Do you know much about the ceremonial team?
The ceremonial team is actually called the Honor Guard.
Right.
It's members of our fourth degree that they have the option that they can join the Honor Guard.
Yeah.
And whenever a brother knight passes away, they will stand guard at their casket throughout the visitation, and there's a number of them, so they switch out every 10 minutes, and then different religious ceremonies or whatever special masses, they will show up and be there as well.
Yeah. Well, these are things that some people are familiar with, some people wonder about when they see it for the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were able to cover that. Is there anything else we need to cover, Paul?
I think we did a pretty good job of
Now,
taking care of all my notes.
Are you doing the golf tournament one more time?
I am doing the golf
St.
tournament
Ferdinand?
at St. Ferdinand.
When's that?
It is Saturday, June 28th. It is the 50th anniversary for that. We have a new a few new ideas. We brought in some new blood and some old blood. We got one of the Gearlings helping out, Joe Gearling.
They used to win it every year.
Yeah, his father, Hank Sr., won the inaugural tournament. We're going to do some things. We have your traditional A, B, and C flights. We're also doing a family flight. So if a team made of completely just family members, they will be placed in a special flight.
Oh, that's fun.
They'll compete against the other family teams, and then they'll also compete against the rest of the field.
And so now we're doing this show. All the other parish picnics or parish golf tournaments are going to steal that idea.
Probably,
right?
Of course. But yeah, we're developing a few different things. Since it's the 50th anniversary, we're going to have a real steak dinner.
All right.
First time I ever played in this tournament, they said there was a steak dinner. I pulled up and there's a pork steak waiting for me.
I think it's the 27th.
Is it?
I think because it's my 46th anniversary, so I think that's why I knew there was a conflict.
Okay. Yeah. It's the Saturday immediately following Father's Day.
Okay. Well, Paul, thanks for being our guest today and for sharing all this good information about the Knights and the food truck and everything else. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you.